Welcome to episode number 12 of the Chris Rose Rotation here on Jomboy Media, and we are completing the second round of the rotation with White Sox ace Lucas Giolito, who is joining us from where?
Oh, beautiful Anaheim, California.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How's the hotel set up where you guys stay? Don't give it away. Just
no, no chance. No, we're in a pretty nice hotel. We're in kind of like an office park area, but there's some good eating around here. No complaints. Not too far from the stadium.
All right, so first time through the rotation, it was just the two of us chopping it up. Today, we're going to bring your all-star closer, Liam Hendriks, who's new to the White Sox clubhouse. And for people that have never heard him interviewed, it's going to be a ton of fun because you'll get a half hour of an unplugged Australian who's a little nutty. That's the way he describes himself. How's it been with him?
It's been great, man. He's a chatterbox for sure, but it's all good stuff. I liked him a lot from the first time I met him, and just like having him in our clubhouse, kind of seeing him do his thing. Like, he is one of the weirder guys, one of the most different guys in baseball. I kind of got the feeling of that, like when I first got to know him, but like actually having him as a teammate, seeing him every day, it is interesting.
So Liam Hendriks will join us in a few minutes. Plus, Lucas will break down the American League East for us, and we'll check in on his amazing homework assignment. I have gotten a sneak peek. You will not want to miss that. I know you're smirking already, but it is. I don't want to give Mrs. Rose's grade away, but it's pretty special. It's pretty darn special. All right,
I hope so.
Let's talk about a special time for you. Opening day, fans in the stands. You're 50 miles from where you grew up. You had friends and family there and all that sort of stuff. Was there a different energy for you?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, right out the gate. Comparing this opening day with last year's opening day, I mean, not even close. Warming up in the bullpen, hearing my name being called out, whether it was like people shit talking or people supporting, it didn't matter. Like, just having that energy, having those fans, like, brings it to a whole nother level. Angel Stadium, like, obviously it's a capped attendance. Like, I don't know how many, but a lot of empty seats. It was rocking. Like, it was loud. When Ohtani and Trout came up for the first time in the first inning, like, the ovations, like, for me, nothing beats that. My adrenaline, my energy was at a level that I have not experienced in a very long time playing baseball. And it was just like such a relief to be back kind of in that zone.
So you came out on fire, dude. You struck out the first three guys. You struck out 6 of your first 11. You retired the first 11. And the pitch you threw to Trout during that night, come on, dude. I mean, you even probably had to smirk a little bit, didn't you?
I was so jacked up in that first inning that I didn't really see the pitch. I didn't see what it did. I saw video of it after, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know my changeup could move like that. So, something to kind of keep in the back pocket. If I'm super adrenalined out and I just throw that changeup as hard as I can and finish it, maybe I can get that crazy late action. But yeah, so I don't know.
You don't realize in the moment. That's weird. Is it almost like you're blacked out because you're going against the best player in baseball? And I guarantee if you were to ask Mike Trout, he would have said over his 10 years of playing in this league, that might have been one of the nastiest pitches he's ever seen. So you don't even realize it at the time?
Not at the time. It was a lot of adrenaline in that first inning, really trying to control my energy and just bring it towards the plate, bring it towards my target. Man, I struck out the first 2 eyes, and I was like, I gotta strike Trout out. I gotta punch him out to start the season. And I think I was trying a little bit too hard. First few pitches of the AB, worked a 3-2 count. I mean, I feel like Trout's like constantly working 3-2 counts. His approach is very annoying to deal with as a pitcher. But yeah, I mean, I ended up just like saying, fuck it, 3-2 changeup, rip it as hard as I can, right to the target Yaz was giving me, which was actually kind of like outside to him. So like Yaz kind of wanted that, like, started over here, maybe it back doors, maybe it like just kind of fades down. See, he's got that like high and away target with it. I was like, just rip it as hard as I can right through there. And it ended up kind of taking off arm side. Yeah.
You're allowed to celebrate now, dude. That's nasty.
No, it felt good. I want to throw that one all the time with 2 strikes. I got to figure it out now.
That's sick. So, it was a special day for your high school, Harvard Westlake, and we've talked about the story of Max Fried and Jack Flaherty and all you guys being on the same team and stuff, and then getting all opening day starts. Did you guys have a text chain working before or afterward?
Just I had like one text from each of us the night before or the day of. It was like Jack said, good luck tomorrow. Max said something similar. I said something similar. Like, I don't know, maybe a little more like, let's fucking ball out. Let's get it. Yeah.
You're the dirty one of the group, aren't you?
Most of the time.
Yeah. That's why we love you. Yeah.
Except if we all go out. If we all go out like at night, pre-COVID. Jack sometimes, man. Oh, wild card.
Really?
We'll just lose him. See him the next day.
I can't wait till we get all 3 of you on this, on this show together. Figure it all out.
It needs to happen. Yes.
Those
we're
going
to make it happen soon. We're going to make it soon. We'll make it happen soon.
I love it, and I cannot wait. And I'm sure everybody can't wait to hear from the White Sox brand new all-star closer, Liam Hendriks. He is coming your way right after this. Hey, I want to tell you about Aced Out. It is the cap of major league players. 46 different lids out there of individual players, guys like Mookie Betts and Mike Trout and Jacob deGrom, and even from the Chris Rose rotation, White Sox ace Lucas Giolito. We got snapbacks, we got dad caps, we got mesh caps, anything that you need for your size. It's also made and embroidered right here in the good old US of A. In addition to that, how about these cool t-shirts? 13 different ones of Baseball Hall of Famers, all approved by the Baseball Hall of Fame. This one is a Frank Thomas special. As you can see, it's got all of his individual accolades out there. Pretty cool stuff. They've also got Johnny Bench and George Brett and Cal Ripken Jr. By the way, free shipping on orders over $35, and you get a 20% discount on your first order if you put in the code word ROSE. So check it out. It's Aced Out. And by the way, if it makes me look this good, imagine what it can do for you. We continue on with the Chris Rose rotation on Jomboy Media. So we've got the ace of the White Sox. Now we've got the closer of the White Sox, Liam Hendriks. Hello, Liam. How are you?
I'm good, Rosie. Yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Lucas, you got a big old smirk on your face. I don't know how well you two knew one another before Liam joined the White Sox, but what was your first impression of your all-star closer?
I think the first time I met Liam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was at the union board meetings in Miami. Maybe before that.
It was either that or the All-Star game,
All-Star game.
Our bad.
Yeah, just I try to keep it humble, but Liam's a different animal.
Everyone has to know.
So first time I met him, I was like, wow, this guy's got a huge personality, very quirky. I'm similar. I have some weird stuff going on sometimes, but Liam just takes it to a whole nother level. And I was like, his stuff's nasty too. Hopefully he can be a teammate one day. And it happened.
And Liam, what'd you think of our resident dork?
Well, it's there's a whole different opinion on him from now seeing him on the mound, where he's the locked in. I call it the pouty face, but it's more of the intent face. Um, and then you see him off the field, and he's exactly like you experience him now. He doesn't have that angry streak like he does on the mound. Which, let's be honest, I had the same thing, so it doesn't affect me too much. But he's been good. I mean, you can bounce ideas off him. You can talk to him. I make fun of him quite consistently, which is always good.
What does he make fun of you about?
My phrasing, anything, anything that I'm doing around the clubhouse that's like ADD like. He's been going squirrel on me recently, the last few days.
What does that mean?
You've seen the movie Up, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know when the dog just run, squirrel.
Got it. Okay.
That's what he does. You'll be talking to him and randomly something will happen and he just locks in the other thing mid-sentence and just completely zones you out.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been having a really good time. I think Liam's a wonderful addition to our already very colorful clubhouse.
Well,
yeah,
Liam,
I just yell at TA pretty much all the time as well.
So
Yeah,
Liam, how tough is that?
Fun.
When you're a big personality like you are, and you're walking into a clubhouse that's got a bunch of big personalities, did you have to dial it back when you got to Arizona in spring training, or were you like walking through the door and here I am, the crazy Aussie?
The good thing is most of the guys have played with an Australian, so that's already set a baseline. So they're just expecting that level of just insanity. So I'm, in some terms, depending on who they've played with, I'm below some guys and I'm above other guys. But the good thing was that my locker was right next to Tim Anderson's, and we went back and forth a lot, to the point where it was like 4 hours one day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're just going back and forth, but just consistently, to the point where people had to tell us like, "Hey, you guys, calm down. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. You haven't shut up yet. We need some space."
So a lot of people are wondering, yeah, you're from Australia. Your family lineage is in Australian rules football. How the heck do you become a baseball player over there?
Well, it definitely wasn't hereditary, because my dad will hit himself in the back of the head trying to throw a baseball. So there's that. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know how I did it, but it came apart all right. But yeah, it's the football side of it. Just that's the mentality side. It's any adversity you face, it ends up being character building more than anything, because all you're going to do is go out there and, "Oh, you don't think I can do this? No, I'm going to prove to you I can," and then and go forward with that. But yeah, baseball was legitimately an off-season gig before footy. So I'd be playing football during the winter, and then baseball would be the summer. And then I just kind of kept with both. And when I came down to it, it was, hey, football's going to be here if you go to America to try out baseball for a couple of years. But if you go football, baseball's off the table. So let's try out baseball for a couple of years. See how you like it. If you enjoy it, you can stay over there and you can really work on it. If you don't like it, you can come back. You can enter the draft as a late sign, and you can go ahead and try it that way.
So, Lucas, do you see the Australian rules football player on the mound when he's out there?
Oh yeah. Last night I got to see Liam in like full force. I mean, he pitched an inning and a third. I've never ever seen a closing pitcher so relaxed, loose, just kind of hanging out, doing his thing in the dugout in between innings, and then go out there with just extreme intensity. And he got the last out of the game and he was screaming. And it's just like very impressive, because I'm kind of like, I think we talked about this last time. When I'm in the dugout during a game, I like to keep it loose. Like, I'm not trying to like be super serious or like be over the top, sitting with my head down, but I'm not even close. Liam's like, I mean, he's cracking jokes on me. Liam, you must have like cracked like 4 jokes on me. It was a long inning. I'll give him that. They were trying to ice the kicker.
Yeah, I did yell that. I did yell that at Joe Madden when he was coming out to do a mound visit or something like that a couple of times.
Trying to
no,
ice the kicker.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep it loose. I mean, you can't get it locked in for that long. If you do, then you're going to burn yourself out. So what do? You keep it loose. You keep it kind of going. These are the times where it's like, for whatever reason, opening day. This is 2 years in a row that I've given up a home run to a left-handed hitter, and it's probably 3 years in a row that I've walked a guy in my first inning, and it drives me insane. The home runs, they'll happen because if you throw around the strike zone, it's going to happen. But the fact that I walked a guy, even if it is the fish guy, Trout, it's fine. But like, come on. I mean, I can't do that. That was the biggest thing frustrating for me. But yeah, I went down to the batting cage. I was playing catch, and then I had to get out of your Mercedes way because you're not going to mess with the guy who's 4-for. And then he went and got another one, and Bob's your uncle. Here we are. He's got a 5'9".
So I saw you yell at yourself or yell something after you finished up the game. What are you saying to yourself? Because I imagine that's a hell of a conversation, Liam.
Yeah, if you don't have really good, interesting conversations with yourself, who are you going to have interesting conversations with? So, it was just a lot of yelling. I think it was the emphasis on being just frustrated with the way that last inning took place. Obviously, I get 2 quick outs to get out to get there 0-2. I get 2 outs. I get to 0-2 on Fletcher, 1-2 on Fletcher, and then just threw a bad breaking ball. He didn't hit it well, but he hit it in the right spot, and then just beat it out. And then for whatever reason, I didn't really follow my strengths enough for the next 2 batters. And that, as you can tell, Ohtani hit a ball to the moon. But hey, if you're going to give him up, you may as well give up a big one. And then, walking Trout, which sucks because then you have to face Rendon, which their lineup's not fun at all. It's not a good. I had to get out of
that
division.
top of the lineup is very tricky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I had to leave the division to be able to give up a homer to Ohtani because I don't think you've got to hit off it before that. So that's good.
So, Liam, when you came to this country, you were 18 years old.
Yep.
Were you prepared emotionally for being dropped off in America?
Oh, the good part is I came over with the Twins, and at that point, I came over for extended spring training. The Twins had 10 Australians. So it was as if like I was the only guy. Like it was a bunch of guys like James Beresford. James Beresford ended up making it to the big leagues with the Twins. He was there. My roommate Jared Ecott, his brother's now a YouTube sensation that had his own little skin on Fortnite. Then there was Carl Edlick, Elliot Biddle, and there's a bunch of guys around that you just hung out with. So all of a sudden, it's not that drastic of a change for me because I'm around people that I already know. No ish. I played with them, played against them, but no ish. But you come over, that made it so much easier rather than just coming off and being dropped outside of a Walgreens at the Clarion Hotel in Fort Myers, Florida, and then saying, "Hey, good luck, guy. Nothing you know is right."
The Clarions.
So then you start your journey. I mean, it's hard enough for a guy like Lucas, who was a first-round pick, grew up here in this country. It's hard enough for you guys when you're 18 and you're moving away from home and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, bonuses for a first round to help.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt.
Let me go grab my silver spoon over there. It's fine.
Well, you know what? I want to hear from both you guys on this. Were there ever times when you were like 18 and you're away from home and you're like, holy shit, this is way harder than I ever thought? Liam, let's start with you, and then Lucas, I want you to think about that.
Well, the first guy I ever met was a 6'5" right-handed pitcher who had the calves of a Greek god and threw 95 with an absolute disgusting curveball. So I got to there. I'm like, well, I'm never making it. This is good. This is fun. And then 2008 was fine because I actually pitched. I was fine. 2009 was a tough year for me because I ended up having 2007 was a good year. 2008 was a tough year for me because I ended up having spine surgery that year and missed the entire year. So that was tough because I'm rehabbing and just kind of hanging out at the Clarion Hotel where by the way, the sooner you get back, then you get the Wi-Fi, then you can play video games. But as soon as the rest of the buses get back, video games are off the table because everybody's trying to do it and the Wi-Fi is very, very poor. So I survived on the dollar little pizza boats from Walgreens. And then, a lot of that. And then that was good. That was good. But what is it? Why can't you guys add tax before you get to the register? This is stupid. I don't understand it.
It's a great question. I don't know.
Something says $1, it's $1. It's not $1.03 because then I have to find 3 cents.
It's a great point. It's a great point. So they do everything pre-tax over in
Yep,
when you get to
GST.
Australia? Okay.
Yep. So if you see a shirt that says $50, it's $50 on the dot. You don't pay a single cent more.
God almighty. I got to get over there.
We also
On my
have
bucket
colored
list.
money. It's fun and different size and has different names for it.
Really?
So
Like what?
the hundreds are green, and they're called Bradmans because of the one of the greatest, if not the greatest cricketer to ever live, Sir Donald Bradman. The 50s are yellow, called pineapples. The 20 are reds, called lobsters. The 10s blue, called a plum. The 5s are pink, but I can't remember what they're called. And then you go $2 coin, $1 coin, 50-cent piece, 20-cent piece, 10-cent piece, 5-cent piece.
So wait a second. In our country, we name money after presidents. You named it after a cricket star?
Well, we don't have presidents.
Well, I know, but you have political people.
Yeah, but it's Australia where we care more about sports than politics. So let's name it after the cricket guy, because also one of his claims to fame was his strike rate ended up at 99.99 after he got it out on a duck for his last ever appearance, which is duck is 0. So he ruined his 100% or 100.00 strike rate by doing that. But yeah, if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole on cricketers, type in Donald Bradman and Shane Warne. You will not be disappointed with either of them.
Nice. I drafted in my fantasy league, my cricket fantasy league one year. They were awesome. They were awesome. Hey, Lucas, I want to circle back to you. When you were 18, were you like, I hate being away from home. This is not fun.
It's funny. Liam came all the way from Australia, but there's so many similarities. For me, it wasn't a Clarion. It was a La Quinta right next to.
Oh, you got the fancy stuff.
No. So my first wow moment in minor league baseball, Gulf Coast League in Florida, was when I was there getting acclimated, staying in the hotel, had a roommate, all of that. And about 2.5, 3 weeks in, I woke up one morning coughing up blood. And I'm like,
Jesus.
What the hell is wrong with me? Am I dying? And my roommate goes, oh shit, I forgot. We got to clean the air conditioning filter. I'm like, what are you talking about? Clean the air condition? I've never heard of this before in my life. And so he goes over, and it's like one of those wall, window unit ACs that lower type of hotels have. He pulls up the filter, and it's just covered black mold, whatever, dust. We go and we run it under the bathtub to clean it out, and then towel it, pat it dry. I'm like, oh my God, how long am I going to be here? And then my first start was probably a couple weeks later, blew my UCL out, and I ended up living in that La Quinta for about 10 months straight. Just put a dent right in my bed. Me and my roommate at the time, Spencer Keyboom, catcher, his brother is playing for the Nationals still.
Yeah, Cardi.
Yeah. So me and Spencer decorated our hotel room. We would go to Hobby Lobby and Walmart and get little decorations. Same deal with the Wi-Fi. I was on the phone with the technical support pretty much on a daily basis because we had the Wi-Fi that was a satellite on the roof at the old La Quinta. It wasn't the best. I mean, at the time, the one thing about it is I'm 18, 19. I'm learning a lot. I showed up to pro ball pretty wide-eyed, pretty oblivious. And so, all the college guys, all the rehab guys that were down there, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how to be a professional, how to develop a routine, figure things out. But it was definitely a grind.
Were you guys allowed appliances in your rooms?
Certain ones, microwave, stuff like that. But
yeah, we had a microwave and a fridge, but we weren't allowed anything else. We weren't allowed to have a slow cooker. We weren't allowed to have a rice cooker.
No. Yeah. a lot of Latin players got in trouble because they'd be cooking in their hotel rooms all the time. And
Okay,
the thing
is
like
foreign players, because I had that as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing though, is like I felt really bad. I'm like, yo, I mean, these guys are going to Walmart, getting some chicken, getting some rice, getting some beans. They're just trying to like cook it up, have a meal, and like they're constantly getting in trouble. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Like,
You save money,
want us eating. Yeah, you're saving money and you're not eating crap. Because like the only stuff around their walking distance is like Burger King, Cracker Barrel, Chick-fil-A. It's like,
hey, don't you speak bad about Cracker Barrel.
I'm in on Cracker Barrel, guys.
Cracker Barrel.
No, Cracker Barrel's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying, like every night, it gets a little expensive.
See, we got lucky. I was right across from a Publix in Florida, which pub subs are doing it. I miss that every day.
Pub subs.
Yeah, and then there was a Quiznos, a Walgreens right across the street, an IHOP, and then the Australian classic of the Outback.
Wait, what? All right, stop. I got to stop you. What do Australian people think of Outback Steakhouse?
Well, I'd really appreciate if they ever used an Australian to do the slogans. That would be nice, instead of an American with an Australian accent. So that would be good. And then obviously, I've never heard of Alice Springs chicken. Had no idea what a bloody bloomin' onion was. No idea what any of this stuff is. So I'm going there for the first time. I'm like, okay, this is great. Well, we did an Australian dinner there every year. So the oldest guy during regular spring training would like take everybody out, and we'd go to the Outback, and then anyone who was legally allowed to drink would check out and see what they the actual Australian beers they had on selection, and you'd go to town. But it was always a great night until you'd obviously play the pranks on the guys, and whoever was the newest, you'd do the hat game. You'd hide their credit card under the bill, and last credit card out has to pay. Well, we did that, but then a guy like started like welling up a little bit, had to go outside and call his parents to transfer money into his account and do all this. We're like, no, stop it. We're not letting you pay. It was a joke. You took it way too seriously. This is weird. Hey, when there's 10 to 12 Australian guys, the bill adds up a little bit.
Hey, what's the drinking age in Australia?
18.
Oh, 18.
No, so the worst part is Victoria on the East Coast, you can get your driver's license and you can legally drink in the same day, which seems like a great idea, right?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
So in
wait
West
a second,
Australia,
go ahead.
In Perth, you get your driver's license at 17. I don't know, maybe the guys on the East Coast need an extra year to mature. I'm not sure.
So you come over here and you're like, wait a second, I can't drink? Like, come on.
Legally.
I imagine you were
legally.
Oh, yeah, good. You're sneaking stuff in. Not that we condone that on the Rose Rotation.
No,
if you're from
I
Australia,
got
you're used to drinking at 18
times. I got caught a couple times.
And?
I had to pay a fine.
What happened?
Which, luckily, the good thing is the wages you make in Australia during the off season when I was working, they were able to cover my fines, which is nice because I was straight out of high school working in construction, making $30 an hour.
So you were here playing baseball, and then you'd go back home and you were working construction?
Yeah, construction. I built truck. You know the little like cranes you see on the back of like a pickup truck. I was helping putting those together. Then I was a delivery driver for a couple of years. You know, the little odd jobs and stuff you got to do to pay bills.
Giolito, what about you? I imagine you're more of you probably run in my circles. Private school, snot-nosed, parents took care of you. Did you ever have a grinder job in your life?
Absolutely not. It didn't happen. It didn't happen for me. I was high school, straight into pro ball, and that was that.
Well, we were talking about this the other day in the locker room. It's like, because Andrew Vaughn, I call him Mo Vaughn, but Andrew Vaughn he went from 81 in spring training to 25 in the things. I'm like, oh, you got that prospect status. I'm like, Gio, what number were you? It's 44. I'm like, see, first rounders. They get the cool numbers. Me, 62. It sucked.
Liam, for people that don't know, they just see you sign the huge contract in the office. You had to work. You got DFA'd 5 times in your career, including once by the Royals during the World Series in 2014.
So the day before the World Series, I got designated for Moises Sierra. And then I got traded back to the Blue Jays for Santiago Nessie. I got traded from the Blue Jays to the Royals at the deadline that year. Traded back to the Blue Jays, and then they're the ones who put me in the pen full time, and here we are. But yeah, 5 DFAs. I've been DFA'd for roughly $250 million. I did the math there, so at least I've got a lot of money in my DFAs. There wasn't too many small names. It was first one was Phil Hughes, then it was Ubaldo Jimenez. Then it was Jose Veras. Then it was Ubaldo Jimenez. Then it was Edwin Jackson. And then Moises Sierra with the Royals. So I got some money back there, It was good. But I was thinking about this actually the other day because I was like, okay, how many guys have taken literally 10 years to get to free agency and still been able to sign a multi-year deal? So I got up in 11. Call. So I mean, it's 10 years.
Did you ever think of going back to Australia and calling it quits at any point?
Nah, I'm too stubborn for that. Like it was to the point where I was like, I'm not going to go back home and say that I failed, and I don't until I got. And then you get to the big leagues. That you can't really, even right now where I'm at now, I can't just call it quits and say, hey, I'm retiring, because it's not retiring, it's quitting. The retiring is what happens when you get to a certain threshold, but yeah, at that point, I'm like, I don't quit. I don't like the word quit. I don't want to do it. I don't want it to be in my vocabulary. So what am I going to do? I'm going to stick it out. And then it definitely helped when at the age of 22, I was able to get to the big leagues. That was a lot easier. But luckily I've had a rock behind me. My wife's been fantastic through it all. I mean, she's, we've gone through the ups and downs of it. After all of that, we pretty much know every single person on every single other team now because we've been with all of them.
Well, Lucas, our first time around, told us a great story about how his wife basically got in his face and said, hey, listen, you need to change something here. Like, it's not working. You need to do it. So she's the one who kind of, right, Lucas? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, she gave me a nice kick in the ass at the end of 2018 that I needed. Liam and I have talked about that before.
We talked about it in the shower the other day.
Yeah, we did.
Care to share?
I mean, is she willing to do it again? Because I can see it coming again. I think you need it again. No, we had this conversation about it. It was the fact that our wives both helped us turn our careers around by just getting our mindsets off of the constant negativity of constantly expecting to fail and then not being able to pull the trigger while succeeding. And it was so I used my wife. I used a tarot card reader called Ruby's Readings. If you want to check her out, she's great. She's planning on coming out to Chicago at some point this year once all the vaccines and stuff roll out. And then we can let Lucas and Ari hopefully get a chance to meet her. But
yeah, the tarot card thing is fascinating to me. Fascinating.
Oh, it's wild. I got crystals in my
second,
locker.
You're not joking here.
No, I'm not joking at all. Like, I legitimately spoke to Ruby when I was in AAA in 2018 after I'd been DFA'd for the 5th time. It's part of my banishment period. So I was talking to her, and then we're going back and forth, and she was just like, why are you saying it like this? Why is it not? So I was saying, like, okay, well, I just don't know where I'm going to go right now. I need some sort of direction. It's like, I've always done this. And she goes, well, why are you putting a ceiling on you? Like, why are you limiting yourself by saying that you can never attain these other things? Why don't you just put it out in the universe, put it out there and see what happens and manifest it? And she ended up actually helping me fire my agent before that. Went to a new guy, and then as soon as I went to the new guy, I was up in the big leagues within a week. So, I mean, it coincided with September 1st, but it sounds cooler when it's just, I was up in a week.
There are going to be some people that listen to this and they're like, wait a second, Liam, you're listening to the advice of a tarot card reader instead of a pitching coach, a therapist, or anything else. And people are like, wait, we're supposed to believe that's what made you the all-star reliever you are now?
Also, she has no idea what baseball is. Zero clue. She was really excited when our costumes were black and white. But she is good. Like, she is good people. Like, we actually had her over for we did Thanksgiving with her a couple years ago. I went to Disney World in Florida, so we did that. Like, she's now more of a friend than she is like an like an associate or a business partner or anything like that. It's we're friends, but yeah, she's fantastic. And yeah, I've got, like, she actually sent me so I've got a black Darth Vader onyx crystal that sits in my locker. And then she got one specifically made for me. It was a Yoda made out of jade with the little eyeballs in it and stuff like that. But ever since 2018, I've had crystals in my locker. I had carried crystal in my bag. It's more like the manifestation stuff. Like, you envision yourself succeeding so that when it happens, it's not wild. But you also envision yourself failing so that if that happens, you can still roll with the punches and get back up again. But I was talking to a couple of the guys, and it was like same with Gio. It's like, when you finally meet the right woman for you, she's the one that's going to tell you to fuck off. She's the one that's going to tell you to piss off.
And that's the one you keep right there.
And that's the one you keep. And that's what Ari's done for him. And so Chrissy's done for me. And yeah, we had a nice little chat last night after I gave up a homer. So that's always good.
And what did she say to you?
Stop sucking, pretty much, in very broad terms. But it was the same thing. It was like, I do this thing where I kind of get ready, like locked in, and then I'll just lose focus that little bit, and it takes me a while to get it back. And that's what happened to those two batters. And it's the same way. Like, it's once the season gets a little bit more progressively in, you get a little bit better at it. You get kind of into that routine. You get you can feel the triggers. You can feel those things you need to react with when something's going wrong. And haven't quite found it yet, because I had a very interesting spring training, to say the least. I think I ended up with 5 or 6 live BPs, 3 B games, kidney stones, some immigration issues. It was a whole lot of fun of me pitching on the backfields at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the pesky green card.
Not even a green card, just
right?
a visa. Just the visa.
The visa.
Yeah, I'm all good now. Yeah, we were able to get it squared away just in time for me to throw the last 2 games through in spring training. But yeah, it was there, and then I wasn't allowed to pitch in a game. Then I got 3 games in. Then all of a sudden it came back, and then I was allowed to get in there the last couple of games. But we made it work, and we cut it close. But yesterday was actually my first time going an inning plus. So that was fun.
So, Lucas, are you in on the tarot card thing?
Oh, yeah. Not in the sense of like it's something that I necessarily want to do immediately. Maybe I'll try it at some point. But I'm way in on like kind of Liam's story, because there's a lot of similarities to mine. It's just kind of over a longer period of time. But that's that idea of like, if shit's not going right, if like things aren't going your way and you're pressing and you're trying and like you're just experiencing failure after failure, like reset and do something really fucking weird, like do something different, like put yourself in a different headspace. Kind of like what he was saying, what she was saying to him is like, why are you looking at it this way? You can think so much more positively. You can like envision success, and it's going to make it easier to get there. Like, to me, I hear certain like NLP type of characteristics in that, neuro-linguistic programming, which is something that I did a few years ago as well, on top of all the other mental things I've done. Like just kind of retraining how you're like looking at things, how you're viewing them, how you're kind of operating, and it can just bring you to a whole nother level. I love that stuff.
Well, once again, we're being joined by Liam Hendriks, Lucas Giolito's new teammate. Just a couple more things, and we're going to let you go. You did an amazing thing during the playoffs last year. We'll notice that you're masked, obviously, during the post-game press conference, where you let us in on a little secret in the clubhouse.
We've been doing the putting thing this year. So I have my second putt this year. Second time I've also done the putt completely in the nude. Missed today, which is unfortunate. I made the first one, but missed today, unfortunately.
Yeah. How's the nude putting going?
I made the third one against the Astros, or the game we won against you. So I made the third one. So we're 2 for 3 this year, which is pretty good odds for me because I suck at golf. It may actually, I think it's more of an equilibrium thing. Taking it out, it just helps with the sway. Well, the year before it was the mini basketball hoop, and same thing. Like I did it completely naked, but I did the Jackie Moon shot from semi-pro and nailed
The
that
granny
one too,
throw.
so. Yep.
Who the hell's guarding you in nude mini hoops?
Oh no, there's no guard. It's like a free throw.
Got it. Okay.
But they did. Bomel's shot was maybe the worst I've ever seen. Because it was in the, so you've seen the movie Moneyball. So it's the Oakland A's clubhouse in 19 was the exact same. Nothing had changed at all. So they put like the hoop on top one of the lockers, and there's a half like storage thing, and he hit it about 3/4 of the way up the rest of it. So the hoop's here. He probably hit it about here. Yeah, like was it like to the point where they put like the athletic tape, and they did the kind of chalk outline of where he hit it, and yeah, it was wasn't good, but
Oh, beautiful.
All
right. Liam, your guest on the show, something we do with our co-hosts like Lucas is we give them Mrs. Rose's homework assignment. My wife used to be an elementary school teacher. So we gave Lucas,
the son of 2 teachers.
Perfect. You're going to love it. So we gave him a homework assignment, which was to learn dancing from one of your teammates. Let's see how it went.
He wouldn't let me join him, by the way. I tried to.
What's up, everybody?
No.
I'm here with international pop superstar Yoan Moncada. It is time for me to learn how to do the dance to his hit song, Desastre Personnel. Hey, yeah. And who better to learn the dance moves than the man himself? So
we don't have
we're gonna
to
get right
play
into
the whole
it.
thing.
I am a horrible dancer. Obviously, you guys have all seen the music video. This guy knows what he's doing. So, yo, let's get the song going.
Okay, let's do it.
I love this part. Okay, so let me get a little hip wiggle.
Yeah.
What do we think, Liam?
He dances like me before, but before I was allowed to drink. So when I used to drink, I felt like I was really good after that. But yeah, I was more of the. I put my vibes out from the bar. But yeah, this is. I think you should stick that one, Gio, as well. But hey, as long as you have fun, who cares, right?
Lucas?
It was a blast, man. I'm, at the end of the day, I'm glad that I completed my homework.
Not only did you complete your homework, Mrs. Rose says right now you are the valedictorian. You are at the top of the class because you pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone. You are.
How big's this class, by the way?
It's a class of 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I'll take
not a participation trophy.
I do have to admit that when I saw that video, I kind of thought a little bit from this scene in a famous movie.
Nice.
Was that Hitch?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I could only imagine Yoan
I feel
being
like
the role of Will Smith.
I feel like that's a compliment. I feel like I'm not even moving as well as he is. Look at that. He's getting into it.
I feel like that dance is going to be easier than the yo dance. Because this one, you're just being completely absurd.
Yeah, the Moncada dance is very subtle. Like he was just like kind of doing. I don't know. Like I felt like I was doing the same thing as him, but he looked like 1,000 times cooler doing it than I was. Like I looked like a weird robot. I mean, I even did the video barefoot so I could feel the earth beneath me and maybe get some of that good energy going, but it didn't help.
By the way, this is also, they filmed this just after I finished the spring training game, and they wouldn't let me join in. I was full uni kitted out. They wouldn't let me join.
Yeah, he walks in after throwing an inning. He walks by, like, this is like right in front of our spring training complex, and the walkway from the actual game field is like right there. And like right before we start filming it, he walks over and he's talking shit. I'm like, Liam, please go inside, finish up your work. Like, let me just do this.
I just finished my work. I just threw the inning. I didn't do anything else afterwards.
Oh yeah, I forgot. no ice, no nothing.
No
right.
ice, no nothing.
Yep.
We say goodbye by letting you spin the wheel of moderately interesting things. Got 5 different categories on here. And today it is appetizer. So what is the must-have app on your phone that you are in love with right now? Liam?
So the one I go to the most right now is ESPN Fantasy Hockey.
Oh.
And I've switched between that and the NHL app because I need to make sure who's goalie that night.
Wow, I didn't know you were such a big puckhead.
Oh, like Matt, I've got the I'm a mad Montreal Canadiens fan, so I follow every single one of their games. My fantasy lineup is skewed way too heavily to Montreal, which is really good for the first 2 weeks of the season when they look like they were the best team in the NHL. Tailed off a little bit since then, but they're still doing me all right. I'm still top of the table in my league, and it makes it easy when there's a bunch of Flyers fans because they suck this year.
Les habitants. Excellent.
Yeah, and then we make sure to let the Flyer guy know in our clubhouse or in the group chat that he's not welcome around because Gritty looks like he's on crack.
Lucas, what's your app? Your go-to?
Go-to app on my phone? I'm pretty boring. It's like social media, Twitter, Instagram, but I'd say I have this app called Habatica, which is like a planner tracker app. You put down like tasks and, your daily planning and all that kind of stuff. But
this is where the ADD comes in.
Yes, 100%. But it's in the vein of like a video game, like a role-playing game video game. So like, let's say my thing is like wake up at this time, eat breakfast, whatever. I can then check it off and then gain experience points and currency towards my character that I'm trying to level up and, get better armor and weapons and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know. It's a good way for me to stay on top of it and have like purpose behind what I'm doing.
So you don't use this app very often then?
Wow.
Wake up at 12, get on the bus by 12:30.
I'm telling you, today was an early morning for me and I'm doing just fine. We're going to have a hell of a day at the field.
It's going to be good. All right. So we want to thank you, Liam Hendriks, for being a great guest. In fact, you get a parting gift as well. So enjoy this. Liam, Lucas Giolito has promised to pitch at least 4 complete games, which means you'll get the day off at least 4 times this season. Plenty of time to practice that putting in the nude. Enjoy, Liam, courtesy of the Rose Rotation.
Appreciate that because that's going to come in handy. Do I get to save them? Do I get to tell him when he's allowed to throw a complete game, or is it like a specification thing, or is it?
Well, really, that's something you guys can work on your next discussion in the shower. I'll stay out of it. You guys are the teammates, and you can figure it out then.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest thing. This whole social distancing thing. They took away the shower heads right next to each other, so we can't even like bond.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We got to get that. We were talking about that in the shower last night. I don't know if we were there, Liam. We're like, man, we got to get that 85% back so we can get all of our shower heads back.
Another great reason to get vaccinated, guys. There you go.
I've got one down. Got one shot down.
Love to hear that. I got my double dose already, so I'm good to go.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Liam, you have been more than generous with your time. Continued success. I greatly appreciate it. And thanks so much. We'll see you again at some point here on the Chris Rose Rotation with Lucas.
Hey, of course. I'm always around if you ever need me.
Appreciate you, bud.
Awesome. Thank you, Liam. See you later.
Take it easy, guys.
He is, I imagine, one of the more interesting teammates you've ever had.
Oh my God. He's awesome, man. It's just like, he's so much, but it's like all interesting all the time, at least to me.
And it's real, by the way. It's real.
Yeah.
Like every bit of him is authentic.
Yeah.
He is really good and fun. All right.
Yeah, that was
so
that was a great time. I'm glad that he talked about the tarot card thing, because I
Fascinating.
didn't. He told me that, like, I don't know, a week ago, but I didn't know if he was like kind of telling me in confidence or if it was something that he was just like open and honest about. And sure enough, like, he comes on here and starts talking about it. I love it.
All I could think of was the movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
It was good stuff. All right. Something we've been doing here on the Chris Rose rotation, we've had each one of our co-hosts break down a division in which they do not pitch. They might pitch against the team, but we're not going to ask you to break down the American League Central. You're going to see those guys 76 times combined this year. So we're going to focus today on the American League East.
This is going to be wonderful.
No, but it's good.
I'm such a great baseball fan.
You'll love this. First question is, are the Yankees the favorite in the division because they're significantly better than the Tampa Bay Rays, or because they're simply the New York Yankees?
Ooh. I'd say, a little bit of both. I think that the talent the Yankees have is very, very good. Obviously a much higher payroll than the Rays. Yeah, I don't know if I can give like the most detailed answer on that. I just think that if you were to look at the team on paper, Rays versus Yankees, like it's hard if you're like, creating the odds and trying to predict 162. It's hard not to put the Yankees out in front.
Yeah, I mean, that lineup is beastly. It really comes down to, can Kluber, he's not going to be the two-time Cy Young Award winner, but if he's 75% of Corey Kluber, if Jameson Taillon comes back and pitches well, they'll get Severino back at some point this year. Who knows what Herman and Montgomery are going to. So really, there's a lot of question marks, whereas the Rays, they lose guys in their pitching staff every year, and they get another guy up there that throws a bazillion. Somehow they're working that out. Next question. How close is Toronto to being a top 8 lineup in baseball?
I don't know too much about Toronto's lineup right now, other than
I know you haven't faced Bichette or Biggio, I noticed. You have faced Vlad Jr. a little.
I faced Vlad Jr. They got Springer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he's very good. Wow. Are they already not a top 8 lineup in your opinion?
So that's kind of what I was looking for, is that they've got a lot. They've got, like, I think Biggio's a really tough out. I think he's got a really good on base. He'll get on.
See, if you were to ask me this question, like right before I start against the Blue Jays and I have all my scouting material,
got it,
I'd probably give you a pretty definitive answer. After pitching against them, I'd probably give you a pretty definitive answer. But like right now, the only like stats and numbers in my head are Angels hitters right now. And I gotta put those away and then move on to the Mariners for the next one. But like, yeah, like top to bottom, Teoscar
Hernandez.
Very
good.
Hernandez. Yeah, nasty. Man, I don't know. You might have to give him top 8 like right now, right?
I think it's fair. I'll circle back with you on that one.
Angels are definitely in that top 8, man. Woo!
I know.
Oh my God. That 1, 2, 3, 4, Fletcher, Ohtani, Trout, Rendon. And then the protection for that 4, you got Jay up and Pujols. And I know that Pujols might be sharing time with that lefty hitter Walsh.
Yep.
Who
Walsh,
I haven't seen. He'll play this series. Totally. I'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. More important for JD Martinez to return to form in Boston, or for young players like Bobby Dahlbeck and Michael Chavis to grow up fast? Now, Dahlbeck and Chavis both had huge springs. I think they combined for like 13 homers or something in the spring.
Yeah, Chavis was the ice horse, right? Is that his nickname? He was like a meme, I think.
Very good.
See, I could tell you like stupid Instagram meme shit, but not like
Good.
So JD Martinez, he had a rough year last year in 2020. I couldn't even tell you. He did.
I know, because you guys didn't play him. I get all that, but yeah, he
Here's
did
the
not.
thing. Is he like a I need the iPad guy? Okay.
Yep,
There you go. There you go.
he is.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, Yasmani Grandal is a huge on video. Like, he gets very, very, very locked in during the game, and he really likes to review his ABs. He likes to break down the video in that moment. That is like a huge part of his routine. He's talked about it before. Not having that last year, it had its effect on him.
Yeah.
Among many, many other hitters in our league. So I think that kind of having that back for some of these guys to a certain degree, I know that we have certain like rules in place, but having that back, being able to do that is going to put guys kind of back in their comfort zone. Also, better normal routine, 162 games as opposed to the sprint we had last year. I think it's important that a guy like JD Martinez kind of gets back to what he's able to do. That's hugely important, having that veteran, reliable, kind of offensive presence in a lineup.
Got it. Last one. Would you rather scale the green monster with suction cups or walk across the catwalks atop Tropicana Field?
Okay, so we're going like analyzing right into
which one would you rather do? Like, are you afraid of heights? Like, could you walk on those catwalks that are hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air? Or are you like, yeah, you know what? I'll do some Tom Cruise, shit where I'm doing the suction cups.
But I'm not, no holster. Like, I'm suction cup. That's it. Like,
I'll give you a holster. Listen, I think you're going to make a lot of money and be successful in this game. I don't want you falling 37 feet to the ground at Fenway Park. So we'll give you a holster.
Okay, so if I get to like be attached like a rock climber by ropes, I'm doing the suction cup thing and I'm enjoying it and it's fun.
Okay.
No worry about it whatsoever. The catwalk at Tropicana, it's got like railings and stuff, right? Like I'd
hundreds of feet in the air.
I'd walk across that.
No
I'd definitely be more nervous to do that than the suction cups. But yeah, I mean, if I had to choose one, to be the suction cups. Like I liked rock climbing growing up as a kid, like not real life rock climbing, but like, the fake walls at fairs. Yeah, I love doing those.
At 6'6", man, that's not easy.
Well, I wasn't 6'6" when I was 12.
Well, I don't know. You could have been a giant for all I know. Could have been.
I mean, I was always like the tallest, but there was always like in elementary and middle school, there were girls taller than me. Like girls grow before boys.
Yes.
But then by the time high school, I was the tallest and and that was it, except for the basketball players.
By the way, one time on this show, we're going to get into the whole, because I know that you married your high school sweetheart. So we're going to get into some of those stories coming up one time. Speaking of which, of course, we will conclude today's episode with another homework assignment, and you aced your first one. I know you were uncomfortable watching yourself dance with Johan, but it was a thing of beauty. So you're already 1 for 1, top of the class.
Beautiful.
So for this one, on Intentional Talk, we got a chance to meet your dog. Your dog's name again?
Louie.
Okay. We need you to video a dog trick with Louie.
Okay, so the only thing about that homework assignment, I'm not going to see Louie until probably after the season.
Oh, Louie's with your wife?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All of the animals, including the horse my wife just got, are in Davis with her. But we did just add a new.
Yeah, you got to explain real quickly because I know the story, but just explain what your wife is doing and where she is.
Oh, she's in veterinary school. She's at the very tail end of her 3rd year out of 4. Just grinding, man. Wow. Vet school is, she was trying to prepare me before, like, hey, this is going to be a lot. I'm going to have a lot of bad days. It's going to be a grind, just letting you know. I was like, yeah, it's going to be great. Like, you're super smart. You're going to kill it. Like, she's doing good, but man, is it a grind. So yeah, that's based UC Davis. Just to kind of throw some props my wife's way, UC Davis is like the top ranked veterinary school in the country, and it has been for a little while. But yeah, she's doing her thing over there, makes it tough during baseball season for sure. But she actually did surprise me, and she was able to come to opening day. She just got a flight the day of, flew down right into Anaheim, and was able to watch the game with her dad from the stands.
That is awesome. How cool is that?
Yeah, she's the best ever. It's unbelievable. Because she was like texting me like the days leading up to it, like, I'm so sad I'm not going to be at your opening day.
Oh, she had you.
This really sucks. And I'm like, hey, it's the first of many. Well, not the first. The first one was last year. No fans. No one was allowed at that one.
Right.
But I said, there's going to be plenty more opening days. It's going to be all right. I wasn't happy about it, but I was just trying to stay focused and try and make her feel better. And sure enough, she just shows up.
She got
Yeah.
you. What are the odds that she could do your homework for you and video Louie doing something cool?
Oh, 100%.
Great. I'm in. And so is Mrs. Rose. I'll speak on behalf of Mrs. Rose. She loves it when the wives get involved.
Yeah, Louie's got some tricks up his sleeve.
Nice.
We might be able to get multiple.
All right. Hey, listen, extra credit won't hurt. It goes a long way with Mrs. Rose. I'm just telling you. So
love it.
Listen, dude, good luck in your next start. We will speak to you somewhere down the road in a few weeks. Thank you for bringing Liam Hendriks on the show. He was a blast.
Oh,
as expected.
That was awesome, man. He's definitely, like I said, one of the quirkiest teammates I've ever had, but I think he's going to be one of the best for sure.
I would certainly agree with that. I want to thank everybody for listening to the Chris Rose Rotation here on Jomboy Media. Continue to give us a thumbs up on our YouTube. Continue to subscribe anywhere you get your podcast. Big thanks to Robbie Scirocco running the board and editing this baby as well. Lucas, great job as always, and we'll see you next time, all right?
All right. See you later, Chris.